This is Mariah Jones for our A&E assignment. So today we're going to talk about people or animals in stories and where those stories are happening when we read them, or the when and the where of the stories that we are reading. My goal for us today during this lesson is that you will each be able to find and to figure out what the characters and the settings are, either in a sentence, a story, or a picture. To help us get to our goal today, we're going to play a matching game with a partner. We're going to have question and answer time with our elbow partners. And we're also going to use highlighters to highlight our characters and settings and sentences. And we're also going to look at pictures and find potential or list or name some potential characters that we might find in those pictures. As for my internal reviews, when the students talk to one another during the elbow time, the partner elbow time, that's when most of my internal reviews will be going on. They'll talk and I'll go around and I'll circulate, I'll monitor, and I will redirect if I need to. And when I'm asking these questions in the links to experience, we'll also follow with a discussion to make sure that it's clarified and actually reviewed. The meat of the internal review for me, I feel, would be the retail, and when we do that, when we discuss it, I think that it would be best if we corely defined it all together as a classroom more than once. That way those students who may not have caught on by that point can jump in as we do it corally, and it'll help them to kind of find the right wording for it maybe. As for the informal assessing, I will be walking around, monitoring, circulating, always listening, and seeing, are they using the two terms correctly? Are they using mainly people when developing these examples, responding to one another and creating? Or are they using animals? Are they using both? Are they doing a combination of both, really? And of course I would address that within the lesson and try to get them to use both of those. Same goes for the when and the where. Although the when isn't as important in first grade, it will be, so it is a good asset to go ahead and touch base on. And but the where is really what I'm looking for there. Also, in their partner work, who is showing, or just in general really, who is showing more strength or confidence, and at what point in the lesson is that confidence being seen? Is it the beginning, or is it towards the end? Is it more in the middle once we start doing the modeled guided practice? Also some informal assessing that I would be doing is assessing from the individual practice, which is the sentences and naming of the potential characters, and that's good for assessing because you get to see what they do individually at the end of the lesson and see what they've retained and can apply. I also, on that last page there, or on that individual page, I included a more critical thinking setting question where it's not explicitly stated in the sentence, just to assess which children might have that extra edge on the topic. So that was another form of informally assessing that I did. An example here, another example of an informal assessment that I might make while I'm circulating and listening in is I could write something like, or I observed that Jane here, she needed help with ideas for characters when she was creating her illustration. And from that comes at the end, the very, very end of the lesson. And if she needed help coming up with characters, then that to me would be a very good indicator that she did not successfully grasp the concept of that lesson. And also, I could even make language observations whenever the children are communicating, responding to one another during the partner activities. And here I had put a star and said language, and I said Robert is hesitant to share his ideas with a partner. Now, this to me would be more of an observation that I might make in the beginning of the school year when I didn't really know enough about the child. But it's an observation. It's just more on the language aspect of assessing. As for a mock feedback, let's see here. When I ask, if we were to take a picture right now, what would be our setting? Let's see. Obviously, if I took a photo in the classroom, the setting would be the classroom or even the school. That's an appropriate answer. But say maybe Johnny says the setting of the photo was the desk. I would say, okay, Johnny, let's look at this. Then we would go into defining who are the characters of the photo, which obviously would be the students. And I would say, okay, let's start here. Where? Let's look at this photo. Where does it look like this photo was taken? And I think right then and there that Johnny would be able to say, oh, it's not the desk, it's, the classroom or the school. And then I can, tell him that, no, the characters are in their desks, but that's not where the photo was taken. Where was this picture taken? And it'd be very easy for him to see that it was the class. I would hope that it would be very easy for him to figure out that, oh, it's the classroom or it's the school. As for my closure, I think that I would go the route of, okay, hands on your head if you can tell me one thing you remember doing today, or hands on your shoulders if you can tell me one thing that you learned today. And we would just keep doing that until I felt that I had heard enough from the students and felt like they really were able to reflect on what we had done that day. And then I would just break it down for them again and say, I had a goal for you today, and the goal was that you would be able to find and figure out what the characters and settings are in the sentence, story, or picture. And then I would ask, raise your hand if you feel that you conquered this goal today, if you were able to figure out characters and their potential settings, or just the settings in general,